What's up everybody, Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Today I'm going to be running through the top 10 cards from Unified Minds, the largest Pokemon trading card game set ever released. There are a ton of busted cards in the set. I've been testing vigorously for the World Championships, so I'm confident in the potency of these 10 cards, though there are plenty of cards that deserve to be on the list and didn't make the cut. It was a tough choice, but here we are with number 10. Coming in at the 10 spot is Keldeo GX with its amazing Pure Heart ability, which reads, prevent all effects of attacks including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon GX or EX. Tag Team Pokemon GX are running rampant in standard format right now. They're the most powerful Pokemon ever released, but they can't deal damage to Keldeo GX. And with non-GX Pokemon having a tough time finding footing in standard format with limited damage buff options and limited search options, Keldeo GX definitely carves out a niche for itself in standard format. It's got a couple of good attacks as well. Sonic Edge for 2 water and a colorless does 110 damage, is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, and then Resolute Blade for 2 water and a colorless does 50 damage times the amount of bench Pokemon that your opponent has, similar to Dangerous Rogue GX. All in all, Keldeo GX could make a splash at the World Championships and is definitely a card to look out for in the months to come. There are a bunch of powerful trainer cards in Unified Minds, and number 9 is no exception. Tag Switch allows you to move up to 2 energy from one of your tag team Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon, continuing the popular strategy of bouncing energy between high HP basic Pokemon to avoid knockouts. This card is going to be incredible in Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX decks, allowing you to bounce energy between big tag teams like Pikachu and Zekrom and Raichu and Alolan Raichu after a full blitz, allowing for huge Tag Team GX attacks like Tag Bolt and Lightning Ride GX to come out of nowhere. Tag Switch is sure to create some explosive plays at the World Championships. The new Dark Pokemon from Unified Minds have a lot of trainers very excited to craft Dark Box decks, as they've been called, and Umbreon and Darkrai coming in at number 8 is the star of the show. This card rocks. It's got 270 hit points, a huge tag team Pokemon with 2 phenomenal attacks. Black Lance deals 150 damage for 2 dark and a colorless, with 60 damage sniped to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon GX or EX. And then Dark Moon GX for just a colorless makes it so your opponent can't play any trainer cards from their hand during their next turn. But if you have 5 extra darkness energy attached to it, it automatically knocks out the defending Pokemon. So a one-hit KO attack in addition to Trainer Lock with 6 energy on the Umbreon and Darkrai GX. Absolutely phenomenal, and making it one of the most powerful cards in standard format. It's got the support to back it up as well. You can use the Naganadel from Lost Thunder or Sharpedo from Team Up to flood the field with darkness energy, and then move the energy throughout your field with the new Weavile GX from Unified Minds and its Shadow Connection ability. Umbreon and Darkrai GX is just waiting for its potential to be tapped, and I'm excited to see what this deck can do in our new standard format. Tag Team Pokemon are already very difficult to knock out. They've got the highest hit points ever in the Pokemon trading card game, and Great Potion makes that task even harder. Coming in at number 7, Great Potion heals 50 damage from your active Pokemon GX, but this card has already seen play in combination with Tag Team Pokemon like Reshiram and Charizard alongside Mixed Herbs to make knocking out a Reshiram and Charizard with 270 hit points an almost impossible task. You can search this card out with Green's Exploration with searches for 2 trainer cards out of your deck. You can easily search for Mixed Herbs in combination with Great Potions to just glance off any hits that your big tag team Pokemon sustain throughout the course of the game. A great card, going to make it very difficult for tag team Pokemon to go down in our upcoming standard format, and I think we're going to see this card in a ton of decks. There are a ton of good dark Pokemon in standard format right now, but Weavile GX makes them all better thanks to his Shadow Connection ability, earning it the number 6 spot on our top 10 list. Shadow Connection reads, as often as you like during your turn before you attack, you may move a basic darkness energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. With support like Darkrai Prism Star, Naganadel from Lost Thunder, and Sharpedo from Team Up, you can get energy into play and then move them around to various darkness Pokemon to perform huge attacks. And the ability to pivot between cards like Mega Sableye and Tyranitar, Greninja and Zoroark Tag Team GX, as well as Umbreon and Darkrai GX, is what makes Weavile GX so powerful and the backbone to a brand new archetype, Dark Box, in standard format. down to the final 5, and in 5th place is Garchomp and Giratina Tag Team GX, rocking a stellar 270 hit points, which is quickly becoming the new normal for Tag Team Pokemon GX, and it's got 3 great attacks. Linear attack for just a colorless energy, deals 40 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, great for knocking out Ditto Prism Stars, as well as setting up knockouts for later Calamitous Slashes. For a Psychical Fighting and a colorless, Calamitous Slash deals 160 damage, plus 80 more if your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it. That is 240 damage for just 3 energy. To compare, Reshiram Charizard deals 230 for 4 energy and is one of the best cards in standard format, with the support of cards like Malamar and its Psychic Recharge ability to put energy on the Garchomp and Giratina. This is just great damage output for a relatively low energy cost. It's pretty easy to get damage counters on the defending Pokemon as well. With Giratina from Lost Thunder and Distortion Door, you can put damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon. And then, of course, there's Spell Tag, which goes on that Giratina as well to place damage counters wherever you want on your opponent's field. And, of course, just Linear Attack to set up knockouts for Calamitous Slash, a great 1-2 punch from a powerful Tag Team Pokemon GX. And then, of course, there is the GG and GX attack for 2 Psychic and a Fighting. You can just discard one of your opponent's Pokemon. Any of them. Doesn't matter if it's on the bench, in the active. Doesn't matter if it's a Pikarom with 6 energy on it. You just discard all of the energy attached to it, as well as the Pokemon, tools, all that. It all hits the discard pile. So a pretty crazy GX attack. If you have 3 extra fighting energy attached to it, you get to discard 2. Now that's pretty difficult to pull off, but GG and GX for 1 happens all the time, especially when Malamar is involved. This is all around a fantastic card, the backbone to a new way to play Malamar decks in our standard format, and I'm excited to see what it can do at the World Championships. Coming in at the number 4 spot is Reset Stamp. Simply put, this card will win you games, this card will lose you games, and it most certainly will decide the outcome of matches later this month at the World Championships. It reads your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws a card for each of the remaining prize cards. A very strong disruption card in our standard format with cards like Let Loose Marshadow. Rotating out, Reset Stamp is just as easy to play. Searchable with cards like Volkner as well as Green's Exploration. You can search it out with Persian GX if a Pokemon GX gets knocked out with your Catwalk ability. There are a lot of ways to play Reset Stamp in our current standard format, and decks are going to be defined by how they respond to a Reset Stamp to 1, 2, or even 3 cards being limited at the end of the game when resources are needed to pull off victory by this very strong item card. It's most certainly going to make a statement at the World Championships, and decks are going to have to take this card into consideration when building their game-winning strategies moving forward. This card is completely insane. Raichu and Alolan Raichu GX could easily top the list of any other set, but Unified Minds just a busted set. So here it is at number 3. Raichu and Alolan Raichu Tag Team GX, 260 hit points, great for lightning types. Pikachu and Zekrom's only got 240. Raichu and Alolan Raichu, much more difficult to knock out. Tandem Shock for 2 lightning and a colorless, deals 80 damage, and if it became your active Pokemon from the bench during your turn, it does 80 more and automatically paralyzes the defending Pokemon. This card is format defining. Every single deck needs a way to get out of Raichu and Alolan Raichu Tag Team GX's Tandem Shock paralysis because it's so easy to pull off. When you use cards like Dawn Wings to Invasion and then retreat for free with Zeraora GX's Thunderclap Zone, you can Tandem Shock turn after turn after turn to disrupt the opponent while they're trying to execute their strategy. It's a very powerful attack. Automatic paralysis is always good, and then 160 damage is just great for 3 energy. You can easily use Electro Power to burst that up to new heights, take 1-hit KOs without using your GX attack. Speaking of 1-hit KOs, Lightning Ride GX. For 2 lightning and a colorless does 150 damage, and you switch it with one of your bench Pokemon. If you have 2 extra lightning energy attached to it, then it does 100 more. That's 250 damage, and you get to try to preserve your energy in a format without a lot of gusting effects by moving it to the bench and safely putting another Pokemon in the active position. With the free retreat of Zeraora GX and all the support that Lightning has going for it, Electro Power, Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX, Thunder Mountain Prism Star, Tapu Koko Prism Star. There are just so many good things going for this card. It is going to be format defining. It is most definitely going to be in a top 8 deck at the World Championships. I can almost guarantee it. Raichu and Alolan Raichu GX is just most simply one of the best GX cards ever printed. Our runner-up for the Unified Minds top 10 list is Cherish Ball, coming in as second place. We've seen it before in the Pokemon trading card game. Free search is always good. Nest Ball was phenomenal last format. Now we have Cherish Ball, which searches out a Pokemon GX from your deck. You reveal it and put it into your hand, and it does it for free, which is just incredible. As long as Pokemon GX are good in the Pokemon trading card game, which they always will be, Cherish Ball will also be good. And one of the most busted parts about this card is it doesn't just increase the consistency of your deck. It doesn't just help you set up. It also can help you draw cards by searching out Dedenne GX, getting Dedennes out of your deck, allowing you to discard your hand and draw 6 cards. This is just a great card. Will make its way into a ton of decks in both formats and will definitely be good for years to come. We're finally here. The best card in Unified Minds and potentially one of the best cards ever printed. Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX, or Mew Mew as people have been calling it. It's got 270 hit points and it can do anything. And I'm not kidding. It can almost literally do anything. Perfection. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX on your bench or in your discard pile. That means an expanded format. This card is infinite. The bigger the card pool gets, the better this card gets. The fact that it includes Pokemon EX means it's just infinite. Expanded format with Battle Compressor. You could discard anything on the first turn in the game, and Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX can copy it. Did you ever want your Seismitoad EX to have 270 hit points? Well, here you go. Do you ever want to use Mega Rayquaza's Dragon Break attack but not have to use a Spirit Link to get it into play? Yup. Here you go. You can use the attack of anything. Kingdra GX. Think about Kingdra GX. You used to have to try and get that thing into play with Archie's and Archie's Blastoise decks. Now you just discard it and you can copy that attack with Mewtwo and Mew GX. It can copy anything, but it's good in standard format as well. You can use it in Malamar decks with Psychic Recharge. You can use it in Welder decks. You can use it in Pikachu and Zekrom decks. Just about any deck that gets energy onto your Pokemon, Mewtwo and Mew can make that deck better by giving it a Psychic attacker that has 270 hit points and is just versatile and can be an extra copy, essentially, of all of your Pokemon GX that you have in your deck. This is quite simply one of the best cards ever printed and will be good for years and years to come until maybe one day it gets banned because just a broken combo comes out and it's just way too ridiculously good and it has to go. But until then, Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX will just be the reigning king of probably standard and mostly expanded format as well. It is just a ridiculous card and it will always be ridiculous. And that about does it for our Unified Minds top 10. Let me know what you guys think of the list in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell. Check out fullgripgames.com for all of your Pokemon trading card game singles needs, as well as twitch.tv/TrickyJam, where you can watch me stream every single weekday. Take it easy. Y'all have a great day. Peace.